specifically at Trulieve, if you purchase something from us and you don't like it, you can return it.
Awesome. Wow. I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
I did not.
Well, you're
I've never had to
welcome.
return anything.
You've liked all the things
I
you
consume
purchased.
it all the time.
There's nothing to return.
Sit back, relax, 'cause it's time for another podcast.
Welcome to another episode of the Sugarshack podcast. We're so excited to be here at Reggae Rise Up 2022 in St. Petersburg, Florida. How's everybody feeling?
Great.
Y'all feeling good?
Yeah.
Really good.
Today, this morning, I guess it's not morning. It's a festival morning.
not
It's
morning.
12:52, but it's morning for me still. I got Dave, one of our team members of Sugarshack. Dave is heads up our sponsorship. Awesome dude. Excited to hear from Dave today. And we've got one of our good friends, Skyler. And Skyler is a part of Trulieve Medical Cannabis Dispensary in Florida here. And we have a special relationship because Trulieve sponsors the Sugarshack music channel. And so we want to talk a little bit about Trulieve's vision and what they're doing in the community to help normalize cannabis culture. And we're excited to have this conversation.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining us,
Of
Skyler.
course.
Thanks,
Thanks
Skyler.
for having me.
Would you take a moment and just tell people a little bit about your role,
Yeah.
who you are, your background?
Sure.
Just give us a little orientation.
So, my name is Skyler Hunt. I have been with Trulieve a little over 3 years, almost 3.5, which is like probably 7 years in cannabis time because time moves so quickly in this industry. But I am the National Community Outreach Manager, so anything that's going to be building relationships with the community and, you know, being out there, being visible, brand recognition, that sort of thing, that's what I work on. And what's funny is pre-cannabis, I actually worked in higher ed.
Okay.
And I worked with students specifically, so I was telling students, like, hey, like, you're not supposed to be smoking on campus. You're not supposed to be doing all this stuff. And, I mean, I just knew cannabis from, you know, using it when I was in college or in high school, and I didn't really know the benefits of it. And then I got into this, and I love it because I'm able to work with communities, and I'm able to work with people who are using cannabis and are really benefiting from it, and getting off opioids and using it to better their health or mental health even. So it's like, it's really rewarding, like, what I'm doing, and I'm really excited.
I'm really excited for this conversation and
Yeah.
to jump more into that. Dave, why don't you share just a little bit about our sponsorship with Trulieve, our relationship, how it started, how it's going, and I don't know, just the details around it.
Yeah, when we've had a relationship with Trulieve in a commercial sense. We were doing some commercial work with Trulieve.
Yep.
And in doing that, the relationship started, and then there was an opportunity for us to kind of, I guess, partner the brands and evangelize each other in a way. So now at this point, you know, Trulieve's supporting us in a number of ways. Really excited for this weekend because we have an announcement. We're actually going to be, I don't know if I can spoil that. I'll let maybe Skyler do that.
Don't spoil it too early.
But we're collaborating on a lot of different levels,
Yeah.
and we're excited for the future together. It's going to be really, really cool, but it's really based on a corporate friendship, right? Like that's how we look at it. It's a brand partnership.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, I think it started because you guys were doing videography work for us, right? And then we started talking, and I'm like, we have these brands that we could be working with you guys on to help normalize cannabis and highlight it more because there are so many musicians that use cannabis regularly. So it just kind of was a natural fit.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Some of the exciting things that we've got coming up soon. I mean, there's so much that we've already done in the short time that, you know, we've become corporate friends. But Skyler, tell us what's coming up. I mean, probably one of the coolest things we've done as a company and something that's unique to Trulieve. This is kind of like a
First time,
you know, for both of us. So please share with us what we're launching.
Yeah, so we are going to be launching a 1 gram Trulieve Sugarshack pre-roll. So it will go live on the 24th, which is this Thursday.
Are
so
y'all
it's really
listening
exciting.
to this out here at Rise Up? Sugarshack
Show how excited
pre-roll.
you are.
Come on. If you've got your
Thank
medic card,
you.
you can go into Trulieve if you have a medical card.
Get your
and
pre-roll
you
on.
can buy a Sugarshack pre-roll.
Yes.
In the strain's called High Note.
Correct.
Sugarshack High Note,
High Note.
which is super cool, right? Sick, yeah.
Yeah.
We're really excited about this, and it is a great way to help normalize
Yes.
cannabis in our culture. I would love to hear from both of you guys. I mean, I know there's a lot of work to be done around this topic, but we are making a lot of progress here in Florida. But, you know, what are some of the things, Skyler, that you're up against right now when it comes to normalizing the use of cannabis in our communities?
I mean, I think the biggest thing specifically for me and then for my team even is just how much education we can give to people, because I think when it comes down to it, people still think sometimes that cannabis is just a drug and people just get high from it. And so what we do is we've done true stories where our patients will speak very openly about their relationship with cannabis and what it's done to help them and help them live a better life. So it's just, I guess, having people openly speak about their cannabis journey and what it helps with, what they use it for. I mean, because we have people that use it for chronic pain, but then we also have people that use it for sleep. And they are your 9-to-5 worker. They work in corporate, but they're stressed out and they can't turn their brain off. And so they use it for this. But I mean, the biggest thing is obviously going to be education and how much education we can do and helping break that stigma. And that's, you know, honestly, one of the reasons we wanted to work with you guys for artists to openly speak about their cannabis journey, because their followers or listeners could also be cannabis users. And when you're looking up to someone and they're doing something similar as you kind of have that better brain relationship with them, right? Yeah. And you're closer to them. So I think that there's a lot of stuff that needs to change. I mean, obviously, from a social aspect and helping with legalization of cannabis, and then also helping with the expungements, because there are so many people still that are incarcerated for cannabis, but then there's also so many people that were arrested 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago that still have this record. Yeah. Right? And so making it a little bit easier for them to get these expungements of their records and then move on. So there's kind of a lot of different things.
Skyler, tell us about the expungement clinics that Trulieve's putting on.
That's cool.
You mentioned this project, and it's very compelling, right? The type of world that we're operating in, we're talking about, you know, shifting that stigma, right? And making it something that's more acceptable. And I think these expungement clinics are so important and valuable to us at the state level. So can you just share a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we actually hosted an expungement clinic. I think the most recent one was in February, and it was actually here in St. Pete, and it's free of charge. So what we'll do is we will sponsor the clinic, we will pay the legal fees, we will pay the fingerprint fees. Wow. Because what happens here specifically in Florida is you will go to a clinic, you'll meet with an attorney, they'll say if you're eligible to have your record sealed or expunged, or if you have to have a restoration of rights, which is usually someone who has a felony charge. Okay. And then what happens is if you go through that whole process, they do the paperwork, you'll have to get fingerprints done. Well, you can't go to just like a fingerprint like store on the side of the road because they don't have those everywhere, right? So we want to make it as easy as possible for people going through that situation and going through that process. So we'll have fingerprint people on site. We have this one specifically, we had almost like a community fair. So there was a healthcare clinic there. There were people that were doing vaccines, testings, there just to educate on what resources are available to the people who are attending, and then any court costs and fees, right? So like you come and you have to get your record expunged and you do your fingerprints, but then there's also a court process, right? And there's court costs and fees. And with this group specifically that we're working with, it's the Florida Justice Project. And what they specifically do is even if you aren't eligible for a sealing or expungement, but you need your driver's license reinstated, they'll help you with that. They'll help you go through the process. I even want to say that they help with cost. So they may not pay for all of it, but they may pay for half of it. So it's kind of a whole step process, and we're trying to make it as easy as possible for people to be able to go through, get their records sealed or expunged, and that's how they've all been. Some of them haven't had like the healthcare aspect attached to it, but they've all been, everything is paid for from when you get there to your fingerprints, to your court costs, legal fees, all that.
It's awesome. Wow. So cool. So I know we're going to be releasing this online.
Yeah.
And so we're, for people that are listening to this that might be in this kind of a situation, what's the best place to point someone like that to?
Yeah, so we actually have one coming up, and I think it's April 4th. It's the Saturday, the first weekend in April in Tampa. What you can do is go to our website, trulieve.com. Go to the bottom. There's a community link. You'll click on that, scroll to the bottom. I know these are a lot of steps. Scroll to the bottom, and then there's an event link. Click on that, and then all of our expungement clinics that we're participating in April, I want to say that there's 5. You'll be able to see where they're going to be, what time, what's included, and you can attend. There's also going to be a link to sign up, so you can do the pre-approval process. Because Florida is a little bit different than other states where we have to check your record to see if you're eligible to have a record sealed or expunged. So all of that will be there on our website. And then we're also going to be sharing stuff on social media here in the next 2 weeks, I would say. So you'll be able to see that there too.
This is awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Just thank you for what you guys are doing and the steps that you're taking to help people. And so, I mean, no shame, right? Take advantage of this. And
Yeah,
if you're in that
totally.
situation,
Please.
if I don't care how hard it'd be to get on a website, I'd be looking for events
please.
to make it easier. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure there are a lot of people that are, in certain situations, and they need that assistance to just walk through the process because it can be so complicated, so daunting, and sometimes just a little bit of friendly assistance in a community of people can really help make the difference.
Yep. And another thing too is it could be costly, right?
Yeah.
Is if you have to do your fingerprints, you have to do the legal fees, the court costs. It could cost $500 depending on the attorney and what county you were arrested in. So we're trying to make it so that we can give people this opportunity to get their record sealed or expunged at no cost. All they have to do is show up or sign up online.
It's great. I want to circle back really quick to something you said earlier. You were talking about the true stories that you release and how powerful that is. And, I think that when education is mixed with lived experience or testimony, that's like the 1-2 punch, right?
Yep.
And so I want to take a moment, if it's okay, and just share like my true story because I have my medical card.
Yeah.
And before I really opened my life up to using cannabis in a healthy way, I had a lot of health issues. I was on antidepressants.
Yeah.
And abusing alcohol. And like even just mistreating my body through what I was eating, right?
Yeah, totally.
Stressed all the time, self-medicating. And cannabis has been a massive component for me living a much healthier lifestyle. And so I remember I went to see my doctor and I told him about some of the physical issues I was having, some of the mental issues I was having, and even how it led to insomnia. And I just love how this organic, natural product that comes from the earth can heal our minds and our bodies in so many different ways. And I remember growing up and, you hear the lingo like in DARE. You know what I mean? How weed is the gateway
I was gonna ask
drug,
you about DARE, dude.
right?
DARE
Like I was a
for
part
sure,
of DARE.
yeah.
I was a part of that.
Yep.
And what's so crazy is I want to say this is that weed is a gateway, but what it is for me is it was a gateway to a healthier lifestyle.
Absolutely.
And as I started integrating cannabis into my lifestyle, I found myself less dependent on alcohol, and I found myself moving in a health. I mean, this was paired with therapy. This was paired
Everyone
with
should
other
go to therapy.
life-changing components, right? Like you can't count
Get
on
the problems
one,
out.
one thing to fix your life and your problems. But what it did
Yep.
for me is it started to move me away from a toxic way of living into a more holistic, healthy approach, and I was able to get off my medications.
I was about to ask you if you are on it, if you were able to get off. Awesome.
And so much so that it opened me up to and learning more and educating myself more on what are other toxic products that I've just taken, ingested, used my whole life that just by default. So it's helped me become less dependent on over-the-counter pain medications or cold medications and things like that. And it has been an absolute game changer for my life. And so that's my true story. You know what I mean? And
we love to hear it.
I'm really thankful for what you're doing here. What's the future of Trulieve? What are you guys doing in 2023? What are you doing?
2023? That's
Yeah.
like a long time away. Actually, it's probably
I'm sorry.
not.
I'm sorry.
It's probably
2022.
not.
I'm
okay,
sorry.
I was like,
we're
that's like
always
a whole
thinking
nother
so
year.
far out in advance.
So we have a lot of expansion happening. I mean, we're opening stores because the thing that we want to do at Trulieve is make this plant easily accessible.
Yeah.
If there's a CVS on every corner, there should also be a dispensary so that people have that option to have alternative routes just like you, right?
Yeah.
Where you made that change and it benefited you
Yeah.
and you were able to get off of your pharmaceuticals onto a healthy plant that
Right.
came from the earth. And so obviously that, but then we have, new brand partnerships. So we just launched a brand partnership with Wiz Khalifa's brand, Khalifa
Oh, cool.
Kush. So we are partnering, obviously. I mean, the music scene is cannabis.
It's where it's
right?
at.
Like it is with
Yeah.
artists and followers and listeners and everyone else. So we have another new brand that's going to be launching here soon. I can't give anything away, but it'll be launching in
Nice.
April. And that's going to be a really, really exciting brand partner. I am personally very excited about this partnership and what it entails and the give back that they have included in their brand. And so, I mean, it's just growth. You have so much
So
growth,
cool.
so much more educational opportunities. So
Awesome. Finally, just
Yeah.
before we wrap up, tell us about your activation here at Reggae Rise Up and what you're doing.
yes, so this is I think this might actually be our third year at Reggae. But this is because last year we were over here. We were actually literally right in this space.
Neighbors. Yeah.
Neighbors, yes. And then now we are in VIP. So we have 2 yurts. One is going to be more of a chill zone, and then one is going to be more of like a decompressing area.
Nice.
So it's, your darker colors. There's noise canceling headphones. So if like you're just overstimulated, there's
Oh,
been
wow.
music going on way too much. You just need a break, right? I need 15 minutes to decompress, and then I can go back out there and have a good time.
Nice.
We have one of those.
Cool. I'm going to take advantage of that.
Yeah, please come on over. And then we also had a paint by numbers wall so that people can really engage. And we have the most fun photo booth, so you can pop in there, take some pictures, tag us on Instagram. And then we actually have a local artist that we worked with for Black History Month. He's going to come out. His name is Ruben, and he will do a live art install across from our setup right on the water. So it's going to be a great opportunity to be able to take pictures and kind of follow along. And then obviously, number one, education, right? So we are out here, we are educating people, we are talking about products, we're talking about ways to get your cannabis card, how to find a physician in your area, so that people have opportunity to have alternative routes of medication, just like you did, right? So that they can say, oh, I can use this to help me with sleep, I can use this to help me with anxiety. And the number one, I think, misconception that I have heard is like, well, I don't want to be high.
Sure.
And we have so many products that you can use every day. You can use when you're working from home. You can use it at night, whenever really you need to use it. And you're not going to get high, right? It's a medicine.
Yeah.
And so obviously there is, you use too much of one thing that maybe has a higher THC percentage. There's a possibility that you could feel a little bit more overstimulated, but that doesn't last forever.
Yeah.
And try something different. So specifically at Trulieve, if you purchase something from us and you don't like it, you can return it.
Awesome. Wow. I didn't know that.
You didn't know that.
I did not.
Well, you're
I've never had to
welcome.
return anything.
You've liked all the
I
things you
consume
purchased.
it all the time.
There's nothing to
Yeah,
return.
there's never
There's
never a
nothing to
product
return.
I've never not liked.
I suppose I can't return empty True Pods,
No,
though.
you cannot.
I didn't like this one. Can I have a new one?
No, you cannot do that. But yes, if you purchase something and you're like, I've tried it a couple times, I'm not a big fan, I don't like how it works, return it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, this is awesome. Thank you. And we're really excited. Us at Sugarshack, we want to continue to help, partner with you in how we can normalize the use of cannabis in safe and effective ways.
Yes.
And we're all about it. So thank you for everything that you've done for us.
Yeah.
And we're just excited about the future. And
I know, so are we. I
Awesome.
can't wait. I'm excited to see this activation. So, and I don't think we spoke about the activation.
that's right. So this upcoming Thursday, I know
the 24th.
the 24th, March 24th.
Yep.
We've got we're doing a Sugarshack pre-roll, the high note pre-roll launch party activation at our neighborhood store in Bonita Springs, just right down the road from the Shack.
Hometown event.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we're going to be there. We'll pull up. We got like a food truck. And
Three Little Birds as a local food truck, right? So they're going to be there. And then you guys will be there. And Sprout will be playing there.
Local boys.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
So it's all local, which is what we want to do. We want to bring it back, and especially in the communities we serve, right? So making that more of a local activation. So I'm really excited. We have some cool co-branded swag, some really cool T-shirts that we're going to give out, and then the pre-roll. And the pre-roll is going to be available in all stores in the state.
Wow.
So every single store in Florida, there's going to be a Sugarshack High Note pre-roll available for purchase.
So cool. If you've got your card, you live in Florida, get your Sugarshack pre-roll. When will those hit stores? That Thursday?
Yes, Thursday, March
statewide?
24th.
Awesome. We're excited. Anything else,
So
guys?
a couple days. I don't think so.
Awesome. Well, we love y'all. Thanks so much for tuning in. See you next time on Sugarshack Podcast. Peace out.
Thanks, everybody.
Sugar Shack. Sit back, relax, cause it's time for another podcast.